Hello, people. Good afternoon, everyone. Is it afternoon or morning?
It's morning.
Action.
Hi, everybody. Welcome again to this podcast for Before You Say Action book, a recent book that I have. Hello, everyone. Welcome again to the podcast for Before You Say Action book. What's that undertone there? Independent
Indie Filmmakers Handbook.
Indie filmmakers.
Let me write down. Let me know I'm again. Hi everyone, and welcome again to this podcast for Before You Say Action, the Indie Filmmakers Handbook. Today we're going to be discussing Manpower, and with me is the legendary fine boy producer from Masterclass 4.0,
David Umoge.
and also beside him is the fantastic, one of my peers for Silent Disco at Masterclass 4.0, and one of my longest followers in filmmaking.
Yeah. Omobola Akinde.
And to the far left, I don't know who he is. What's your name again?
Wow. My name is Victor Acho.
AKA
Nobody Ramsey.
Wow.
All right, so we're going to cut right into it. They've told me that I spent too much time talking, so I don't want to talk today. So, I'll start with you, David. Manpower, what does it bring to mind for you?
Manpower is just, to me, I think Manpower is just the total collaboration of people to make something come to life. Every single person that is functional in an idea coming to life is what Manpower means to me.
You know that this topic is one of our slides for the 7 M's of filmmaking that is being taught in Masterclass every year. When Manpower was taught in your set, what jumped at you?
So we all know that it takes an entire village to make a film.
Word.
Nobody can by himself make a film. So what jumped at me is how do I effectively hire the right people? Because sometimes you are caught between, the person I know, the person that knows the job, the person that is within budget, the person that, so you're caught between all those things. Now, how do you prioritize all of these things based on the kind of film that you have? So that's one of the things that jumped at me. And I know that you, of course, talked about leadership, which is a very important, skill that any filmmaker must have. You must effectively be able to lead people and know how to hire the right people for the kind of projects that you are.
Wrong crew for a great project. What's the impact?
I think the first thing I'll say is chaos. Once there is no, once you don't have some sort of working relationship with these people.
Chemistry,
that's the word. Yeah. Once there's no chemistry on set, it takes the grace of God to bring something reasonable out. Because everyone is angry. you see the director is screaming, the PAs are nowhere to be found. Once you have people who are not properly trained, I'll use the word properly trained, because making a film, like Omobola said, is a whole village, and every single person is very important in the chain, in the whole process. So it is very important to get the right crew before you start a project, so that you don't have nothing at the end of the day.
Awesome. So recently, we just came out of a film, which you cannot mention.
Yeah.
And one of my darlings in the film, who you cannot mention either. But just tell me the experience we had. You can talk about the department and the actions and all of that. But
Okay.
it was beautiful chaos.
It was beautiful chaos, actually. So we're talking about hiring the right crew, right? So sometimes looks can be deceiving, right? Chemistry too. You could get chemistry wrong. So you feel like you've connected at a creative level with someone. The vision of the film seems clear to this person. The person is giving you the right lookbooks, giving you the right presentations, giving you, everything you think you need for this film. But then you get into the job, and then it becomes a problem of execution. Right? So sometimes we know what we want, we picture it, but we need someone else to translate it into reality. So that's where we had the problem in this last project. So this person, who we cannot mention, right, had the whole idea, thought they knew what they were going to do, but there was a problem of execution, which is very important for hiring the right crew. So you need people who can think like you, see your vision, and then do the job, execute it.
Interestingly, that whole experience taught me something very important. Even though the book was already out before the film happened, and there's a topic in this book called respect, a subtopic called respect, where people need to be able to respect, even though you're the owner of the project. We need to respect every member, driver, cleaner, medic, whoever, and through respect for individuals, I've learned to see people more than their actions, because people are not what they do. There's a difference in who you are and what you do. And I say this to a lot of people, that the fact that you failed at something does not necessarily make you a failure. You're only a failure when you stop trying. So when that happened, I had made a mental note that if this person reaches out to me before this production is done, I'll invite this person to come back to have a meeting with me and maybe come back to set. I didn't mention that to both of you, because I knew that you guys were already replaced this person at this point. And fortunately for this person, 2 days later, the person sent me a long message. And I've had a lot of crew members go wrong. But when they're about to apologize, they will blame every other person
except
dead or alive,
themselves.
except themselves. This person went in a full, long-blown message, which I hate. And the person did not mention any other person. The person just kept saying, I failed myself. I failed you. I've known you for only 7 days, sir, but I've grown to respect you. And I feel like I failed the image my first encounter with you created in your head. And I felt the apology was so true, so honest, and so you didn't blame anyone. So I told the person, I said, come over. I'm not trying to avoid to mention the sex of the person.
Yeah, that's how we use they, them.
I told the person to come over to come see me at the apartment we stayed. The person came on a Sunday afternoon. And the person came, I was cooking, went to the kitchen. I was warming food for the thing.
Okay.
I was warming
Master
the food.
chef.
And we ate together. And we had a proper conversation. And it just hit me that what had happened in the project was just a communication problem. The person had created an image of themselves that they didn't want to fail. When their vendors were failing them, they didn't know how to come to
communicate.
Say, I need help. So you see, I need help. It doesn't make you a weakling.
True.
Especially when you say it early enough for the people who are struggling at you to be able to support and overcome that challenge. So the person kept it to themselves till it became a chaos and a calamity. So we just turned. And even when I fired the person because I didn't want to say something wrong towards the person. So I even said, get out of my vicinity. Because the more I see the chaos and I see the person.
The cause of it.
Yeah, I'm like, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. Because this was money going down the drain. This is the biggest thing in the film going down the drain. And this is someone looking, when people have messed up, they're now more clueless and they're now working on eggshells around you because they know they've messed up. It's going to get worse from there. I said, leave my vicinity. And I told Mobola, get out of my vicinity. I got home safely, thank God.
So thinking about the entire, chaos and the entire incident, I like to do a lot of reflection and said, okay, how could that have been averted? As filmmakers or as a leader, you need to find the fine balance between, I want to give someone an opportunity and I want to be able to hire based on what you have done before. And that fine balance, sometimes it can be a thin line between, I just want to give you an opportunity. Now, there are some projects whereby the risk can be enormous, like the kind of projects that we're on, because that department, a lot was hinged on that department.
And there was a ripple effect of everything that happened.
Everything. So I feel like that department was not something we could have taken a risk on. It could have been someone that had experience prior to that time that we should have. Now, next time, I'm thinking a kind of projects like that everything is hinged on maybe that particular department or something. I won't take that kind of risk. I would ensure that.
Apart from taking the risk, so to add to what Omobale is saying, I think to avert something like that, because someone like me, like he said, I like this person already. I think this person's head is in the right place. And
look like it was in the right.
Yeah, but I would take that kind of risk again because people have taken chances on me too.
Yeah.
But to avert things like this, I think production has to do better to not micromanage, but check in more. So that's where trust comes in.
To create some major checkpoints where.
Yes.
So if you're going to have a major part, I'm about to shoot a party film in a couple of days. And now I'm not going to wait till the day of the party or 2 days of the party. So let me tell you something. there was no way that impact would have impacted our project, because the reason why I told the scheduler to schedule the party early in the story, early in the shoot days, was because if anything had gone
wrong towards the
you
end.
see, I have 7,
10
8 days.
days,
So it was day 3 or day 4 that the party, we realized there was a problem. So we now tried 2 days later, it didn't work. 2 days later, we now tried
put it on
4
the
days later.
on the
In
7th
day
day.
7th, that's when it worked. So imagine we put it on the last day of shoot.
Yeah.
That would have just been automatic 3 days extra shoot, extra equipment. So the project still didn't cross
7
the
more
number of days
days
of shoot.
7 more days, actually.
Yeah,
because we
7
have
more
failed
days.
for 3 days
Yeah,
and then gotten it right.
So there were plans, but I just felt that, for example, if you're going to set up a party scene, what are the elements for the party scene? Where is the 3D design? Like now, show me where
A
everything
picture,
will be.
look
It
of
was
it.
more of small boxes of different components, but we're not seeing them set up together. So we saw a light, we saw a tree, we saw a light, we saw a chair. But now, how would they come together was a major thing. That was one. Then 2 is a lot of vendors. The person was relying on a lot of
vendors are not really creating.
and the vendors were going to deliver a day before. Another thing we could have done was to use this person with our vendors. No, we finally did that.
We eventually did that, yes.
So we would have done
Or
our vendors.
I feel like we should have attached the person with someone that. So that kind of department, you have to be extremely resourceful.
Yeah, because the worry
to be
was there
effective
from the
in
beginning.
that department. So it's not a thing of, oh, I have only 1 vendor or 2 vendors. You should have channel of vendors.
Never tried before. Vendors that
Never tried.
they have never tried before.
So,
Yes.
because I agree.
Yes.
I agree. So the
they were
problem is,
looking for people on Instagram.
even
DMing people on
Yeah.
Instagram.
even this person
Yeah.
had never done it before. So that's where we could have stepped in and said, okay, let's attach one more person to say, okay, make
Was
sure
that
this
Sunday? Was
works.
that Sunday? Remember, it was a Sunday. Was that Sunday afternoon that he hit us?
That
Yeah.
this
That's
isn't working.
better.
No, this is all.
No, we're giving one chance to
No,
previous.
one chance.
We're giving a second chance to previous. And say, okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I think we moved from that.
Yes.
But
Yes.
that was a beautiful lesson.
Yeah.
And you know what I did? I gave them this book to read.
Oh, nice.
And while they were reading, they kept sending me notes and saying, Mr. Chris, thank you. Mr. Chris, thank you. Mr. Chris. I'm not trying to say this to make it look like I'm one. I have my issues.
No, but the great book is nice.
And
If you
it's-
don't
it's
get
full.
Grab
before
a
you
copy
say
now.
action, then I don't know what you are doing. If you're a
It
filmmaker in
says it here,
Nigeria.
like it just says
So
it.
finally, let's just touch this one quickly
Filmmakers
about
handbook.
motivating your crew. Because there's a thing like before we started, we talked about one incident happened to me and that same project with another person on the project who's now a masterclass alumni, and the person had a meltdown because of. So people don't know that as nice as I look, there's a lot of pressure working around me. And it doesn't come in the pre-order; it comes in the actual.
You need
experience.
will. You need will. You need will.
Because there's some sort of unprecedented.
I've seen it.
Sometimes
I've seen it 1,000 times.
On
Aggression.
not just the aggression. Sometimes you're wondering, where did this come from?
No, but the thing is, if you've known Mr. Chris long, like I said, I think I've seen Mr. Chris low, high, middle. I've seen him at a lot of levels, right? So, but there's one thing that is constant with him is every moment is a teachable moment. So even when he feels like that different personalities out there and trying to get things done, if you can take away your fear, take away the fear of take away the fear, your pain of failure and everything, and then really listen to what he's saying at that moment.
Yeah.
I think you're still getting the solution to what has just happened.
So one thing,
That's
so
it.
guys,
That's
this is my first time working with him.
Yeah.
And one thing I got from him is that, so prior to now, I've worked with so many kinds of people, and when there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of fear on the inside of not feeling. But Mr. Chris never let me feel like that. Somehow, even in the midst of the chaos, his face is haggard, hungry. He still trusts you to fix the problem. And that part is very, very, there's something it does to you as a leader.
As long as it's not too late for you to fix it.
There's something it does to you as a leader.
No, but the thing about it is that it's a very difficult task to be a boss, a
friend.
teacher, and a mentor, and a friend
At
at the
the
same
same
time.
time.
It's very difficult. But that is me trying to make myself all of that, because I remember that, okay, I taught you this thing, but now I have to be your boss, but now I have to also be your friend. So how do I play all of this together? But one thing I know I do is to also have a plan B somewhere around the corner, even a plan C and D, but I'm not quick to bring it out. I think a lot of leaders are quick to bring out their plan Bs. And what it does is that it fixes the problem, but it breaks the spirit of the people you're working with.
Makes them feel like
It makes them
failures.
feel- So work your plan B through the person. What's your plan B? So, like, what happened in this same film? We created a page where we now had an intervention for this department that failed us. But I said to Victor, I said, Victor, you have to be in this on this page. You need to. So now, yes, Abby is one and releasing the money, but I need Victor and that person to be there. I would have just said, bugger off your, fix the problem. But then I have a beautiful film with a broken team. Can I replicate that film again tomorrow? No. How long am I going to keep? Which is a problem with our industry, where there are people who die with their wealth of knowledge, experience, and because they find it hard to trust. I spoke to one person who's dead now, one of the biggest in this department that had the problem. I don't want to, because it's not going to. I don't know if it's honorary to say about him. God bless his soul. And I said to him, I said, why are you not breathing just a breath of creativity into anyone? He said to me, say, where are the people? So most of them come to him because they want to grab from him and go do their thing. Nobody's ready to serve and genuinely water back.
And stay.
So like this week, I want to intern with you for 6 months, and that's what's ready now. Just intern with you 3 months, and I go start my own thing. Nobody wants to know that you're coming to take from them to go become a competition. I don't know how I'm able to take that, because I tell people to become my competition, but I don't think I think it's a disorder even I have. But
I don't think it's a disorder.
It's hard
it's
for you to
hard.
come meet me to know you come to take from me.
It's hard.
It makes me feel like I'm just being used.
But then again, have you not noticed that that's also what gets you your results and influence?
Well, that's a superficial, supernatural, extra layer of life.
and
Some people are not on that level, because he felt that if you come to me, you should stay with me. When we were younger, I went to do my IT in a mechanic store in Abuja, and they'll tell me to go grab them water. When I go, they'll fix the thing quickly. When I come back, they fixed it. So I couldn't learn anything. And I came for IT. But they knew that I had a degree, and with the experience, I would beat them out of the market. So they thought, let's not teach this guy anything. So what I'm saying is that it's hard to read, even though I think that what you give multiplies. When you train. When I started training in the masterclass, it was just my head I was talking from. Now it has gotten to slides, gotten to books, gotten to newsletters, gotten to a tribe, literally. If anybody told me in COVID year that was where it was going, I wouldn't believe. My wife keeps saying to me that, is this what you really were talking about then? I said, I can't tell you that's what I didn't know what I was talking about. But I've seen it grow progressively. But let me just say this I think every producer needs to understand that they are leaders on the project. And if you understand as a leader, 3 things are very important for you as a leader: inspiration, communication, and motivation. To ensure your crew stays inspired all the time, to ensure that communication is clear and direct all the time, and to ensure that your crew stays motivated. Remember one line that they took out from a soundbite when Omotunde came to train the masterclass last year about your crew should do the work like it's theirs.
Yes.
That for me just
Give them the ownership feel.
encapsulates everything. People need to have that level of ownership, because when those things went by, I go say, I beg. Because I was once saying, give me a young person, give me a young person. So
yes.
Like this, you have a young person, I gave you a young person.
If that was a problem.
I was shouting at you, say, Victor, no, you don't know better. Sorry, you go and come back. And I was like, let me say I want young person. Young person don't call, young person don't choke me. But let's do final lines with Davey, because we've had a lot of our.
Oh, yeah.
So Davey,
how
do you keep your
next
crew
film
motivated?
Communication. I speak well with them, and like you rightly mentioned, even though we all know where we are supposed to work at, there's no one person bigger than another, right? And that's what I try to always ensure, that as much as possible, we give small, what's it called now? Incentives in public. So if you do something great, I commend you for it in front of everyone, and you make everyone know that, okay, this is what this guy did that is great, right? And then maybe a bottle of Coke for you, that can go a long way. You don't understand. Of course, they are like...
Yeah, so it boosts morale and spirit.
It boosts morale, and then you make them understand that they are needed, and their contribution is very important to the end of...
So during this same project, right, there was this night, I'm not going to mention the project, but there was this night, so there was something that had to... I can mention what was going to be... So there was supposed to be a gen brought in, right, but we couldn't get the gen into the property. And I hadn't thought of an alternative, right, of finding a way to get the gen in, so I was trying to find another solution. And then he steps in and says, why didn't you tell me this 2 hours ago? I know this person, and I know the person inside here. I would have helped you get him. I said, I didn't think about it. I thought I could do it on my own, because I feel you're worrying about other stuff. I might have solved the problem, but it might have been late. Right? So he then reprimands me and says all this and says, you should have done this, you know better. But at the end of the chat, he says, I know you will get it done. Well done, Victor. I said, well done, Victor. And then I said, okay, maybe he's not so mad. And then 30 minutes later, I had the solution to the problem.
Wow,
Right,
I
so
saw the generator, like, ooh, the guy got it done.
So yeah,
You know, but
so
you
it
left from
works.
there. I think that was the day before. That was before the gun. Was that before the gun?
Yeah, before the guns.
So then there was one night by 2 a.m. they were looking for guns. And I said, Papa, a robber. But I like what you did. Like, you told me a friend of mine had a gun that he was aware of. So he said, this your friend has a gun. No, okay, no.
Yeah, your friend's friend.
So but your friend's friend has a gun. So he couldn't call the person. So I called the person. The person really had the gun and the gun came. So he came to me with the problem
And the solution.
So I just had to make the phone call. And so I have a almost 12-year-old son. And he's been becoming very naughty lately. Even though I believe that in the child's journey to intelligence and development, they become curious, they're sometimes stubborn, sometimes naughty. So they've been to overthink and they've been to downplay their mom's power and all of that. So he's very, very naughty. So we went out on Friday for football, Saturday for football. I took them to an artist night on Saturday. We spent almost 6 hours there. Sunday went to church, came back from church, watched Chelsea's stupid final. Then he now says, let's go out because you're traveling on Monday.
Really?
And I felt kind of hurt because are you making me compensate?
I haven't done, yeah.
So I think my question is in line with that.
Oh, great. So I said to him, I said, go out where? We spent the whole weekend out. Friday we're out, Saturday we're out, Sunday. Friday I was even literally sick. Abigail knows that. I was literally struggling to stand. I went to this boy to watch his football match. I was looking for him to sit down. I was gasping for air. I had a running stomach. I don't know what was wrong with me that day, but I stayed with the boy. Saturday went out throughout. We were out for 10, 12 hours. Sunday went to church for 4 hours. He wants to go out again on Sunday because Daddy will travel on Monday. So while I was still processing, my wife, a young lady, woke up from her siesta and she said, go where? We're going nowhere. I said, have you read for your test tomorrow? I was like, he has a test. He now said, yes, he has a test. And I said, and you've not read? He said, he read. I said, when? He said, when you went to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom for 15 or 10 minutes. And you read 3 subjects in 15 minutes. He said, no, he read earlier in his room, and now there's a CCTV in the room. I said, okay, let's go check the CCTV, see how long you read.
Really?
Did you read? He said, yes. Did you read? He said, yes. Went to the CCTV, I picked up my remote, and I said, Daddy, I didn't read. And I was like, now I have to spank you. Who knew that I'm going to spank you 10 times? I tell you how long I'm going to spank you, how much. That's how I'm going to spank you. So I spanked him. And now we stood him up for 1 hour, gave him, that long parental care. He gave him that, he got 1 hour.
Chris, you just had to.
He was standing there like, oh God.
Oh, yes, please.
So at the end, he now went to sleep. And the last thing we said was that, you have an alarm. That's what I gave you for Christmas. Wake up early. How I know it's morning, I hear my wife shout, Andre, wake up! That's how I know it's morning in my house. I was like, wake up on your own with your alarm. Set up, be ready before the bus is ready. So you can do your devotional, you can dress up. Don't rush into the bus. Walk into the bus. So he now woke up the next morning. He has collected 10 strokes of cane, belt, brown belt, leather belt on his bum. Next morning, he now came and told me, Daddy, I was ready by 6:30. He wakes up by 6 o'clock. He was ready by 6:30. Bus comes by 6:45. So he was ready. He walked into the bus. The bus honks, goes pick someone and comes back and picks him up. I thought the bus was honky, he was ready. I thought the bus and he left. I told my wife, I said, give him money for snacks in school. They get food and everything from home. But he likes to buy. I said, give him money. When he came back from school, my wife told him, you have money for school from your dad. He came and he hugged me. And the hug said 2 things to me. If I do bad, I get punished. If I do good, I get
rewarded.
And I think that can keep the system running.
Yep.
That's all we're saying with this thing about manpower. People can't be punished if they can't be rewarded. And people can't be rewarded if they can't be punished. You have to do both, and both have to be public and also personal. Don't make it too public and you forget the personal thing to it. And don't make it too personal and forget the public part to it. Great. So if you want to know more, go read, buy this book. Again, it's $15, 12,000 naira, cheap.
Only?
Yeah.
Before you
That's
say
if
action,
dollars does
Let's
not
hold it.
increase.
it's not like we give I'll send you a note.
Selfie photo.
Thank you very much, guys, for
Thank
watching.
you, guys.
See you next
Thank you,
week.
guys.
Thank you, David. Thank you, Mobola.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Bye.
this is the